Hello and welcome to Bong Table. I'm Matt with our Bong Table Battle Report. I am doing Calgary Road to Gamescom. So Gamescom is one of the conventions in Canada. It's a 16-player event, 4 rounds. We're all going to do that in one day. So that's going to be super fun. I know some of the Canadians are planning to play fastless so that they can get it done in time just because of the time crunch. I think originally for Gamescom they were going to say an hour and a half rounds, what's pretty quick. From what I know, it got bumped to 2 hours, but I'm going to be real honest, we really don't know until we get there. I am playing Nords. The May 12th update went out. I rearranged one of my lists to play. I haven't played since that update, so I'm not exactly sure, how things are going to pan out, how things are going to change. And there's a couple different things I'm going to do going forward, probably after Gamescom as I play more Nords. Like I played Dweghom up into Adepticon, I played 100k up to Adepticon in the previous year. So now, it's after Adepticon, I got to go pick a new faction and play that. I've chosen Nords. I picked up a Nords lot back in December, and we're kind of just filling out and playing it. Gamescom is a fully painted event, so 3-color minimum based. So I'm actually going on my way to paint this list to have it fully painted and ready for Gamescom when I go there and play. I'm kind of excited to have a fully painted list. It's been a lot of work. I've been kind of painting like a stand a day kind of thing. So usually like in an hour and a half-ish, get like 4 guys done. Decent. Sometimes they look like McDonald's, sometimes they don't. So I'll go and explain my list, and then we'll get into my 3 games I played at Road to Gamescom. That's the Calgary tournament. I'll just call it Calgary going forward. I do play into Wadrhun, Dweghom, and then Wadrhun again. So doing great. All right, here's my list. We have the Blooded Warlord. This was an adjustment on the Vogny Lord Warlord who gave Flurry Doll to Goltr Beastpack. So I painted for Goltr Beastpack. I'm going to play for Goltr Beastpack. That's kind of where we're going with this, and just everything that I can kind of get painted in time and what I was originally painting before the May 12th update. Blooded, he's the Warlord. He's using Vinda the Dancer, so for every 2 hits you do, you get to roll another hit. This usually generates 7 attacks in total after everything's said and done, so it's pretty good with his Cleave 2. The Warlord for him is called Hunt. So Half-Bloods, when you select a Half-Blood, or when you select a regiment from Reinforcement, you can choose 1 additional friendly Half-Blood. Everything's Half-Blood except for 2 guys. Getting a lot of stuff. He's in a unit of Dread Trolls. Dread Trolls, I like Dread. People not getting Inspire is nice because it keeps them alive more. One of the things you can do still, even without the Inspire, is to have access to Flurry and a lot of attacks. Usually solves the problem, to be honest. There's a lot of other things in the game that can mulch through Dread Trolls. They're not the end-all be-all. They're still, however, very strong and very hard to deal with, but they are defense too at the end of the day. Then we got Stalkers. They lost flank. Still pretty good. I think out of my two out of my 3 games, I still had them all coming on turn 1, my 3 lights. There was one game where a Stalker showed up turn 2. Not the end of the world. Then we have 2 units of Goltr Beastpack. So Goltr, the changes that they went from, they lost Flurry from the Vogny Lord, and they, however, gained at Impact. So they are at Impact 4, Brutal 1, still 5 attacks, is really good, and Trample 2. This, however, changes them from a Charge Clash Cav to a March Charge Cav. Why is that? Well, they still have the problem of being short on speed, so you would kind of like swing them all in, and then you would like charge in and clash with the Flurry. You'd get a ton of attacks, do a lot of damage, kill stuff, really good. However, with that change, and also gaining an impact, you can March Charge them, do a bunch of impact damage, hurt something, follow up with the tramples, hopefully kill a stand or 2. So, like, their Goltr Beastpack are still really good as MSU traders, even, especially with the Line Breaker, to ignore the shield and the Brutal 1. This, like, what you're trying to do with them, I got to reconstructualize how I'm going to say this. Like, what you're trying to do with them is that you're trying to, instead of wiping someone off, like, the other MSU completely gone, you're trying to, like, kill a stand or 2 so they can't hurt you back very well, and then finish them off the next turn with your clash and tramples. And that's kind of like how I got to recontextualize them. I was trying to still do charge clashes with them, but they've grown in power as a March Charge Cav. So you want to treat them as mini Thunder Riders instead of just charge clashing like regular units. You can get away with the March Charge, do a bunch of damage. You're not necessarily going to kill it, but you should weaken it enough where you don't die back and you can trade effectively. That was one of the things like I learned from this whole event is how to play current Goltr Beastpack, because like as it kind of got to the last round, I was like, okay, it finally clicked in like what I should be doing with these. Oh yeah, by the way, the list name is Swiggity Swooty. I'm coming for that Jeff Booty. You're welcome, Jeff. Still recording this in his basement, by the way. Next warband, Blooded. He's got the Roger the Redbringer. I don't know what this is, man. Gives him impact, gives him +2 attacks, and he dies fighting no matter what. So him being at 7 attacks, really effective. He's, his Clash 4 base, so you're rerolling 6s when you inspire. Blooded, even with the Cleave 2. Super deadly character, love him a lot. Once again, Trolls, Stalkers, double Beastpack. Yay. We got a Shaman. He is rocking the Figurehead of the Naglfar. Give him Tenacious 3 against volleys. He's going to be sitting in a unit of Raiders with a Captain. So Tenacious 4 against shooting. That's pretty nice on the D1, E1 Raiders. Keep them alive. Shaman's got some really good spells. I mostly used Mistweave to give +1 evasion to somebody, and then Hoarfrost. Blurred Vision didn't really come up as much as I maybe wanted, and everything else was kind of fine or whatever. Then we got the Bearsarks, 200 points. He's got a Savage. Bearsarks, I like the Bearsarks. They kind of like they get up onto the table with that Vanguard and their speed, so they're really far up. And then they can also threat really far with the the March Charge Clash, because they get the free charge from the Savage. It's like they're kind of like a scalpel. Like you want to like shoot them out, hit something, kill it. The problem is I kinda in the first game target prioritized wrong. I was kind of like, fuck it, we'll go. We'll play ball, see what happens. Should have held them. Stuff happens, things like that. Not stuff, just making bad moves, seeing what happens. But one of my bigger issues with the Bearsarks is that they are D2 R4. They are D2, so they kind of die pretty easily. And one of the issues with them is that once they start losing stands, their effectiveness drops heavily. You need the 16 attacks at the Clash 3 on Cleave 2 to do a lot of work. You are Tenacious 1, so you can shoot them out really far and do a bunch of damage, but you need them to kind of like live and then go keep going. One of the things I found with the Bearsarks is they hit, they'll do a bunch of damage, but if someone counter hits them, they're kind of dead. If they don't finish off that thing and get clapped back, they're kind of dead. So there's stuff like that. So with this list going forward, I'm going to drop the Bearsarks. I picked up a Sea Jotnar. He's going to be slapped in, play around with the points a little bit. I did notice for somehow, I don't know how, I'm 20 points below. I don't know if something's like changed somewhere. I have no idea, to be honest. I did check the app. Like I built this in the app, so maybe there's something going on weirdly with the app for points adding up. And maybe I should just add it up by paper to see if it's the army build or if it's the app or whatever. But yeah, that's really the list. Let's get into the first game. Okay, here's round 1. So here's a table. I probably will take a better picture for it in the later rounds, but something that I got to say, we're playing Echelon, is that I have 2 buildings right here. I got to back up a little bit, but you can, on the left here, I'll do it in red, there is a spot on the left side there to put a regiment similar to this side, but having those 2 buildings on my side really cuts down my force projection. It gives a lot of free space over to my opponent over here, while I'm kind of crammed in between these 2 buildings, and these flanks don't really provide me a lot just because they're so far out. I am playing with Wadrhun in this context, so they're going to be pretty quick with the Raptors and everything, but I think this is more of an infantry one, using Chosen to Death, using Hunters, using Vets, using Blooded, and so on. Off the top, I start getting my Raiders onto the zone, Stalkers in the middle to kind of threat project and force. My opponent gets up on the hill here so that he can start threat projecting. He's got a really far walk shoot with that new chant from the Hunters. We can shoot 24 inches basically if you march shoots. And he's got a good threat projection right there to go wherever he needs to. Also, he's kind of out of the way. So let's get into turn 2. All right, so here's turn 2. With this, my opponent, he's got his Raptors, he's got his Blooded block with his Chieftain, he's got his Hunters again, he's got the Queen with Braves, and he's got Chosen to Death. He's kind of lining it up, he's got a lot of threat projection. He can kind of, swoop in to the various sides into my list simply because I'm getting blocked up by these buildings. These buildings don't help me because it's really hard for me to kind of do what I want to do, what is Horns of the Bull, where I kind of sweep in here, because they're just in my way of doing it. Just do that a little better. And that kind of causes some bad plays, to be honest. For myself, 2 Goltr, double Trolls in one big solid line, Stalkers falling up. I was kind of figuring out how I was going to play this. Like, we kind of just, play off each other, not really committing to anything, not really doing anything to give up board pressure or space while we just get more things onto the table. With these buildings going forward, if I was to play the game again, I would drop my second Goltr, just behind this and just kind of hammer push out. Not necessarily a game plan I want to play, but something I just simply have to do because of the table state. And just kind of have to run here. So really, I'm just kind of blob it up. I don't have much to say because that's what it is. My opponent and I I'll just do it in green, are both scoring the zone. What's good? So we got those, but we're just kind of eyeballing each other for position. Turn 3, I'm going to take this Goltr unit and kill that objective. And yeah, that's kind of it. This Goltr unit is further back because it was one of my last cards and the Stalkers hadn't moved. So then my opponent did his stuff. Stalkers moved up. Goltr were there. Maybe I could have done that differently to get more things up more, but we're going to be kind of hard pressed just by the table itself. So let's kind of just get into turn 3 and get going. So here's turn 3. My opponent brings on his Warbred. We're kind of vying for position still. This is the bad move where I bring these hogs on the flanks here. That shouldn't have been done. I should have just kind of kept pushing. Do it in orange. Maybe drop another hog here. Dropped more hogs here. Because we're just going to get into a grind. Because when Nords and Wadrhun kind of touch each other, they just explode. And yeah, I'm not super excited how this goes down because these side hogs can't commit to the middle. My opponent's kind of just stalling out right now. He has no reason to come forward. I'm trying to apply pressure. I'm getting a little too aggressive, and it's not going to work out in turn 4. Bearsarks down the middle. So, there's pressure being applied, but this is very much going to be a who hits who game in a moment. And we're trying to defend ourselves and go accordingly. What can I else say here about it? I don't have a whole bunch to say. The veterans are in the middle here. They're going to provide that +1 clash bubble. When they chant, what was kind of a nice thing my opponent did. Thought that was really cool. Warbred, they're kind of, they got 11 inches. They're not going to get to these guys just yet. Everyone's just kind of sitting. We're just vying for position. But those 2 side Goltr are traditionally normally good. This game will not be because they cannot swing ineffectively through the building to help out better as things go on. What's that? Let's go to turn 4. Okay, so here's turn 4. Tons of bad stuff happened, as you can see. Things that went first, Bearsarks into the Braves. Kind of just hit them and stomped. That was just a bad move on my part. I should have kept the Bearsarks back more. There's no reason for them to go. I then put my Trolls kind of here, who absorb a charge in from the Blooded. Blooded, what do you do with the Blooded? I think my Goltr end up here, but then my opponent gets a long bomb charge and kills them as well. So Goltr dead. Trolls dead from Blooded and Hunters. Stalkers shoot into them, they're dead. Braves clash back, kill my Bearsarks. Trolls get eaten alive by the Chosen of Death. So Chosen of Death go in. Boop, boop, boop. Goltr go into the side of the Chosen of Death, kill them, but they get within 11 inches of the Warbred, so these guys go in and kill them, but because of how my stack went, both these Goltr did not commit anything, so I have no counterplay, and that's why I should have had them, I'll just do it in black, back here more, to follow up to this attack, and just kind of funneled everything into those buildings. At this point, it's kind of over, to be honest. We'll play it out, but the piece trading didn't go my way. I didn't really take anything for anything decent. and it kind of just falls apart. Like Chosen of Death just killed the trolls. They just have such a sheer volume of attacks with Flawless Strike and like Deadly Blades and Flurry. They're just going to get a lot of hits even without the Inspire. Kinda like this really just comes down to like a positioning problem on my end. Okay, so it comes down to two things. One, 2 buildings on one side and no buildings on your opponent's side. Not the greatest table layout. Should have had that changed at the start of the game, but I played it anyway. So besides that, what should I have done? I should have actually, moved those side Goltr to the middle so that they could follow up into these things after my opponents hit me. That would then take out hopefully 2 more regiments and allow me to kind of keep either cascading in or hold on to the game and as it gets played out. My opponent still has a ton of stuff, but it still keeps me into the game because at this point it's just 2 units of Stalkers and a Raider in the middle. He's going to clean that up and then he can just split his forces and kill my 2 Goltr. Like, I'm not going to win that. So let's get to the next turn. Here's turn 5. Yay! Raptor Riders into the Raiders. Kill them. I don't think they get a chance. Blooded. I think the Blooded gets shot and then go into my Stalkers, kill them. And my opponent was talking to me. He was like, oh, I have to keep these Braves back. I'm like, why? You have these vets. Just walk your vets over and then have your Braves run into my Stalkers to shut them down. So that happens. Then my Goltr on the right here, slam into the back of the Warbred, kill them. So I'll just do that. They're dead. My Goltr are here. And then as you can see, the Chosen of Death go into the side, kill them. And my other Goltr charge into these Blooded, kill off a stand. They just march charge. And my opponent's already reforming his Hunters to make his way over there to finish that off. At that point, he's scoring the zone. Like, he's taking everything. And that's kind of going to be it. We're going to do one more turn to finish off my Goltr, but he's won this. So, positional mistakes from my end cascaded into a loss. That's really what it is. Let's go to the next turn. Okay, so here is turn, I think 5. Oh, my Goltr killed off those Blooded, and then his Braves killed off my Stalkers, and at this point, we kind of just call it. I'm like, dude. Oh, I could have gone for this objective, probably. I would have gone for that objective next turn, but we call it here. I just give my opponent this objective marker down the bottom left. He scores both zones, and we just kind of call it here, and that's it. That is game 1. Let's go into the score. So, here's the score. Played into Adrian. He got me real good there. 7-46, so well done, Adrian. I believe Adrian goes on to the finals, and he plays into Will. Will wins that game, so Adrian did very well. I believe he did a 2-1 record. Really solid player. Really learned from his mistakes the last time we played about force committing and like overextending. What was really good. In this one, I got too aggressive. The Bearsark play didn't plan out at all. I should have held those back for much longer. They were donated for no reason in retrospect. I was kind of just like seeing what they were going to do, as well as I should have moved more central and just kind of came up as a brick and just started to like do a grind instead of a Horns of the Bull on this table, just simply because of how the buildings were. Adrian and I talked, and he was like, yeah, we should have moved those buildings. I'm like, yeah, but it happens. It's not the end of the world. Overall, a good game, but I'm still trying to figure out how Goltr, I guess, play into stuff since the change, because they don't feel the same as they used to, and that's kind of messing with me a little bit. But that was round 1. Let's get into round 2. Here's round 2. Playing Decline Flank. Having a good time here. Buildings, this time, made sure in a better spot. One here, one here. It's okay. Green crystally things. I'll just do it in green. These are forests. And then we got water. So there's not a huge amount of terrain on this table. Maybe a bit more. I think that's what? 3, 6? Yeah. Kind of like to see 7 to 8 just because it gives you more variety. But that's fine. I get all my lights, so double Stalker and the Raiders. I'm immediately setting up the Raiders on the right side to kind of be near the Stalkers to also hit stuff with their gun. I put the Stalkers in the middle because this list wants to play Horns of the Bull. Once again, it's going to be like that for the entire event. And my opponent gets a Ballista unit and a Flame Berserker unit. He's playing Dweghom. He's playing Ardent Dweghom, so he's going to be using that speed feat, but also command stands, having more attacks. He introduces me to the Dweghom dual meta, what I was not prepared for. How this works is the Ardent gives all the command stands plus 2 attacks. you can free additional duel with them. And the Ray took the Baptize and Combat Masteries for 40 points, which gives all the command stands and the Ray Quicksilver Strike. This gets a little interesting when he charges my regiment, breaks it, and then duels the character, and I can't refuse, and then kills the character, but then shatters me. What I was not prepared for at all, and it happened twice, and I was like, I guess this is happening. Like, what is going on? Am I in the Twilight Zone? What is this? But for the initial positioning, I'm putting the Shaman over here because I want to shoot. I just want to put shots in the Flame Berserkers as they kind of come up the table. Weaken them and kill them before they get here. I'll deal with the Ballista later. His Ballista just kind of marching up this way. Going to be putting on pressure on that side of the table while I can kind of split my shots or focus fire in the middle and go from there. That's really just turn one. Let's get into turn two. Here's turn two. Once again, all the stuff on the table. That's just kind of how the list works. So you get forward force on both the Blooded, brings 2 Trolls on. Then you pick a Goltr, another Goltr. So you're getting those guys minimum. My opponent, he gets his Steel Forge, Steel Shaper. There we go. Steel Shaper Warlord in the Hold Warriors, and then he has Wardens behind. And he's got his Devout block with the Argent Rjóða over there, trying to make it up the table and be annoying. That's fine. My opponent does really well by using these waters to like force me to fight in them because he just sits on the other side of the lip, not entering it. So if I'm going to hit, I'm going to be in it no matter what. So I'm just going to have to deal with it. I drop Goltr Trolls. Horns of the Bull is already happening, so the Trolls I want to kind of like hold on with, and the Goltr I want to side hit with. So we're trying to do that. We kind of, move up and stuff. Start deploying things. I think I shoot with these Stalkers, do a couple wounds. These Stalkers do a couple wounds, but I don't like kill a stand or anything, but working on it. And yeah, I don't make any crazy plays simply because my opponent was looking to, I guess, score this or like contest this zone. And I just don't go for it with the Raiders yet because I'm like, there's no reason to. And yeah, it's really turn two, just getting more stuff on the table. Nothing too crazy. Let's go to turn three. Here's turn three. Goltr down the middle, fixing the mistake of last time. Well, actually, no, doing the same thing, but get to do it a little better. As you can see, Horns of the Bull is getting achieved. Oh, and we got the Bearsarks off here. So Bearsarks are kind of getting counter deployed to the Steel Forge because I want to cripple this side and swing across. My opponent gets his Hold Thanes and Dragon Slayers. He does like a march charge with his Flame Berserkers into my Stalkers. I then opportunist shoot his Flame Berserkers, and then I clash with my Stalkers, and I leave one Flame Berserker with 1 health. I eat some Warrior of Death, but not enough to kill a stand. And then at the end of the round, I position my Raiders and my Shaman in a way that I'm within 12 of that guy, so the Shaman will Hoarfrost him to death. And I'm scoring that zone, so good job there. Sweet. My opponent and I, we kind of just like position for stuff. As you can see, he's riding, I'll do it in blue, riding the water line so that once I go into him, it's going to be, how do I say this? I'm going to be fighting the water. I'm not super worried. I'll take that because I'm planning to send Trolls there, so I'll take that grind. I need to lock the Wardens behind it. If Steelforge want to come up and hit Trolls, I got Goltr, I got Bearsarks. They're kind of fine on the right side. His middle is going to be Dragon Slayers and Thanes. So these are the Dragon Slayers right here. And they're going to be coming up. And then the Thanes. I got 2 Goltr units kind of hanging out with the Stalkers and the Raiders. So hopefully I can deal enough damage with them to hopefully kill one and then swing the rest over there. But he's kind of playing Horns of the Bull as well, but I'm just going to do it better. But I'm not prepared for the dual meta, and that's what's going to happen next turn. So let's get to turn 4. Okay, here we go. Good things would happen. Trolls and the Goltr charge the Initiates. They kill a bunch of them down to 2 stands. Ballistae kind of move up and like shoot at them, but don't deal enough, and I kind of heal them and so on. Thanes march up the table. Stalkers, what do Stalkers do? Stalkers, I think, move up. So here I'll do the other play. Trolls charge in, hit the Warriors, kill a bunch of the Warriors. They're down to like 1 wound. It's fine. His Steel Forge, he's like looking at it, and he doesn't want to put the Steel Forge into the Trolls because he's not going to kill the Trolls, and the Goltrs are going to hit him. So he just kind of like runs up. and gets a Steel Forge in the way. The Goltr still hit him, but I think I only kill 1 or 2 there. Hold on, let me just undo that black line. I killed 2 with the Goltr, so that's pretty good. Good job, Goltr. But he can't get to the Goltr with like a march charge or something, or doesn't want to roll a 6, so he just kind of like runs up in the way. Or maybe he just, I forget, or maybe he doesn't want to go for that charge. This causes my Bearsarks to kind of re-angle and move over. It's one of the last cards, but the Troll's going to the wool. So, okay. I have to explain this a little better. Stalkers. I activated the Stalkers at one point. I should have activated these guys first. Shoot into the side of these guys like I was originally planning. But I decide, oh, I'll just shoot into the Hold Warriors. The Hold Warriors die, and then my opponent's Wardens go in and like kill off the Trolls that were here that kill, like, you know, I fought as warriors. This is kind of bad. This is a bad mood. There was no reason for me to do this, to be honest, at all at that time, because his literal next card is those Wardens. The Wardens hitting my Trolls like that, it's just bad play on my end. I don't know why I did it. I was just like, oh, you know, I should just kill it to get it over with. I should have killed it after the Warden's gone, because the Wardens are getting gummed up right now. And so that's kind of bad on my end. But free them up. Next card, Wardens. Wardens charge in, kill my Trolls. I get hit by the dual meta of, okay, he's killed 2 stands. I'm broken. He duels me automatically. He kills them. And now it's like, what the fuck is happening? So now I have this hole open up. So then I move around these Bearsarks after the Goltr go in, because they're looking to get into these Dragon Slayers, which is march charge my Raiders. Raiders, I think they've already gone. I think I cast some spells at them or something, but the Raiders have already gone because I was trying to hit the Steel Shaper with some spells. It's fine. Stalkers shoot there. Goltr just kind of like move up behind the Stalkers, ready to pounce onto stuff later on, because there's no reason to commit them yet. And if the Thanes or the Dragon Slayers get into the Stalkers, I can either clash withdrawal and they'll die, and then Goltr can go in and it's fine. So that was kind of the plan there. Overall, I don't think, no one scores, but it's kind of like, what is happening? Because I was like, oh, I'll win the right side. I guess not, because now I got to deal with those Wardens. This is kind of weird. So let's get into turn 5. Here's turn 5. Goltr, kill Steel Shapers, Wardens, into the side of the Goltr, kill 2 stands, living on 1. Bearsarks, into the side of the Wardens. Love water. What else is happening? Dragon Slayers, just clash, kill Raiders, and then charge into the flank of the Stalkers. Cool. Stalkers. What does the first Stalkers do? I think the first Stalkers just straight up fucking die. I think they like wander up and shoot some people, but they mostly just die. I don't think the second Stalkers get to do anything, but the first Stalkers literally just I think they clash withdrawal and end up there. It gives me enough space for my Goltr to like charge into the flank of the Thanes. I have to do a march charge, also would have charged in the front and it wouldn't line up. And then my other Goltr just charged in the front, so that just reduces them down to like 1 stand and the character. I got double Goltr over there. My other Goltr, march charge around into the Ballista after the Trolls, kill off the, Initiates. They just Inspire Clash and the Goltr get into those Ballista. The Ballista reform, fight Goltr. So we're kind of bringing it back at this point. Ballista are going to die next turn. Thanes are going to die next turn. Dragon Slayers are still going to be alive. Bearsarks and Wardens are going to fight, but we will be scoring some points. What will we be scoring? We'll be scoring this guy, and that's it. My opponent, I think, actually scores 2. He's on those 2 zones. And the, the Hold Ray, I think he auto-rallies due to the Ardent Supremacy of once you're first broken, you auto-rally. So that's been doing really well for him. Yeah, that's kind of it for turn 5. Let's get into turn 6. Here's turn 6. Goltr, kill off the Thanes, get a clap back. So this guy down to 1 stand. Dragon Slayers run into the back end of my Stalkers, killing them. That's fine. Other Goltr just run away. I'm like, I don't need to lose this. Trolls and the other Goltr, as you can see, just finish off the Ballista and reform to go that way. I'm scoring this and this. And this Goltr just runs over into the zone and scores that for me, while these Bearsarks kill off the Wardens. So now my opponent has 1 regiment and I have a bunch, but now I got to consolidate all my forces and go deal with the unit of Dragon Slayers. What I'm not super excited for, just because they're like cleave 3 and annoying as all hell. So this is going to drag on, but let's get through these next turns like pretty quick. So I'm going to be scoring a bunch, and the game's kind of over, but we still got to deal with this one unit of Dragon Slayers right there. All right, turn 7. Dragon Slayers, charge the Goltr, kill the Goltr. Bearsarks, reform march. You're trying to get to that zone and get to these Dragon Slayers. Everyone else, score. Trolls, get into a better position, kind of, sort of, maybe. Goltr, turn around and get into a better position, kind of, sort of, maybe. So hopefully to hit the Dragon Slayers before they hit me, but I'm still scoring 3 out of the 4 zones. Next turn. Dragon Slayers, into the Goltr, kill the Goltr. That's red. Hold on. We need to blue that. Blue that. There we go. Into the Goltr, kill the Goltr. Trolls, side charge into the Dragon Slayers, kill off a stand. Yay. Bearsarks, onto the zone. Yay. Scoring 3. Sweet. Next turn. Do I? Oh, I also do score this because I have 3 to his 2. Yes, I'll score 4. Nice. All right. Next turn. Trolls, clash, kill a stand of Dragon Slayers. Dragon Slayers, I think they reformed and clashed, but I'm kind of fine there. Everyone else just kind of chills out because I'm fine at this point, scoring everything. So last turn, or maybe second last turn. Last turn. Oh, what's this? My trolls are dead. What happened? Oh, okay, so the dual meta happened again. So the last stand of Dragon Slayers got to go first, clashed, killed a bunch of guys, did resolve damage, killed a bunch of guys, broke me, and then dueled me, and then killed my character, and they broke and shattered. And I was like, wow, that is awesome. He's going to score that. Cool. He's like, do you want your Goltr to charge me? I'm like, fuck no. I could have stopped him from scoring. Actually, I think I do. I think I, just move in. I don't even bother to roll. I just, move in here to stop him from scoring, and that was, my last action, so he doesn't score this turn because I just have too many stands. His Dragon Slayers can take it. Dragon Slayers are still good. The problem is they're just slow. And, I wiped out the rest of his army while the Dragon Slayers are still trying to, catch up with everything. So I'm just kind of yeah, whatever. You can kill one thing a turn. That's fine. Overall, good game. I got really caught off guard with the whole... Actually, I'll do the score. Let me swap out. Okay, there we go. So 52-5. Good job, me. Won that game. Another great game into Michael. I played Michael back in Red Deer. Michael's gotten better since Red Deer. Well done, Michael. As for the dual meta, caught me off guard. I was really like, what is happening? I don't understand. This is really weird. Please. So he did a really good job. Oh, did he kill my Warlord? Yes, he killed my Warlord on the last turn. So he should actually be at, I'll just do it in blue. He should be at 7. So you should have 2 for the Warlord. We didn't kill any objectives. There we go. Yeah, Michael did a great job. I think he's getting a lot better. I think he just kind of needs to refine a list, to be honest, so that he has something he likes to play. I think he's just playing with what he owns, what's still fine. The duel thing caught me completely off guard. He did it twice to me. There's not really much I could do because he would break a unit, then just duel and kill the character with Quicksilver, and the mastery stays on even if the character's dead. So it's just what is happening? It was really strange. I played this one a lot better than the first game. So I'm really happy with that. And let's get into the third game. Here's the third game. This is on turn 2. Turn 1 picture just didn't save, so I'll just do that one really quick. I'm playing into Raptor spam. My opponent has 6 units of Raptors, 2 units of Braves, 1 Hunter, and double Winglord. Once again, playing the full hog list. For turn 1, he brings a unit of Raptors over here. And then turn 2, as you can see, he reform marches the Raptors away, but my Stalkers haven't gone, so I just kind of walk the Stalkers up and take side shots into them, deal a bunch of damage, and so he's not super excited for that. What else does he bring on? I think he brought on both this unit and this one turn 1. I got all my lights, and as you can see, Raiders were on and then double Stalker in the middle. So I'm once again doing Horns of the Bull. So let's get into turn 2. Turn 2. From that blue line position that we have over here, he gets 2 more Raptors. Does he have a Winglord? Yes, he does have one of his Winglords on. I'll do it in purple. It's this thing over there. That's a little hard to see. We'll do it in orange. There, it's a little better. It kind of fell off the base, so we're just yeah, whatever. But one of the moves he does make, as I mentioned earlier, is he moves his Raptor unit, just flutes and runs over. My Stalkers haven't gone. I just move up and take pot shots at him. I don't think the second one did. They just got into a better position to allow Goltr to kind of come behind. Not necessarily a mistake, but just how I kind of played the list. Once he did that and just didn't go for the left zone anymore, I had this troll unit that I wanted to fight him with, and it's too wide at this point. You don't know what your opponent's going to do until it happens, so your plan's got to be more fluid, and you can't just be like, well, why didn't you just move it over? Like, I'm wide here because I'm pressuring that side. Once he moves that Raptor unit away, I just double drop both my Goltr on this side because I'm going to need them because he's putting a lot of force on that right side of the table. But this troll unit is completely out of position because of that move he did. What's good on him. However, he could have fluid formation to not have his Raptors get shot. You're going to see next turn he goes down to like a stand. So that Raptor unit's kind of out of the game until the very end, until he gets it over to the Queen who will heal it. But it's still not dead, and that's the problem. So it has a chance of coming back, and there's just going to be a lot of Raptors. My middle's open, but we're going to reinforce with like Goltr and Bearsarks. And a lot of the game's going to be happening on the right side of the table. Having the trolls be deployed that way keeps them out. If them and the raiders were swapped, I might be able to have gotten the trolls in the action a little bit more. Maybe I could have like reformed this way and then marched out. Would have sat on top of the stalkers, still would have been bad. But at least they can kind of reinforce this a little better, or they can like swing around. But you never know how that's going to turn out until the game is played and when that move happens. So it's really good on my opponent. This is Reese. I think he's gimme gets. So it's a really good play from my opponent here. However, like we're not out of the game yet. We're playing Maelstrom. So let's get into turn 3. Here's turn 3. Both Goltr, just behind the Stalkers. Bearsarks, run up the table. My opponent does a lot of range damage from like the Winglord and the Hunters into my troll unit. What breaks them, but they're still alive. Bearsarks get pulled up because I'm ready to go for that Winglord. As you can see on the left side here, trolls, they're making their whole run around. Raiders, they're trying to like shoot magic spells. I'll do an orange at these guys, getting in range for next turn. Stalkers, they shot, and I'll do it in orange. This guy right here, he's down to 1 stand after the Stalkers shot him in the flank. Take aim shooting, did a lot of damage there. My opponent brings up, I think, the rest of his Stalkers. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, so then this unit of Stalkers just shoots these guys, take out a stand. Kind of working all that. He's trying to put pressure. I'm trying to use Goltr to kind of hold out. On the right side, I'm trying to position Goltr in such a way that if he hits anything, that another Goltr unit can kind of charge and countercharge. He's got a good amount of range threat over there. He's got the Hunters. He's got both Winglords. Get the second Winglord. The stuff in the black I'll do in purple. That's a unit of like Braves. That's a unit of Braves. This is his back end scoring to kind of fill out after all the Raptors die. Raptors still really effective, and playing into a lot of them is super annoying. It's like, okay, they're going to be hitting me with like 5 attacks each with Flurry. It is Clash 2, but man, they get a lot out of it. This Winglord right here, I forget what he's actually doing. I think he was going for like a long bomb charge in the flank of my Stalkers to kind of shut them down. I think that would have been arguably a lot worse for him if he did succeed that, simply because my Bearsarks would have just charged and aid him for free and not have any counterplay, and I would have moved forward. So it's kind of good that he failed that charge, but this is kind of the position we're in on turn 3. Let's go to turn 4. All right, here's turn 4. Bearsarks charge in, kill the Winglord. One of the Goltr units comes in from the side, kills the Winglord. Then the other Winglord goes into that Goltr, I think that either weakens it, I forget. Or no, he tried to put like Raptors into that guy, like failed to kill. Then Goltr go into the side of them. Raptors come in, kill off them. This is a lot of just playing, like, everyone's charging into each other. Winglord, I think, had to go in and finish off this Goltr. Trolls immediately like rally and shuffle over so that they're scoring that zone. And also they're healing up, but I've traded all my Goltr. There's still a lot over there that I need to kill. Hunters, I think, just blast these Bearsarks. What's not that great. Raptors, on the other hand, Raptors charge in, kill Stalkers. Goltr countercharge the Raptors, killing them. Then another unit of Raptors go in, hit them. I got just 12 inches to shoot them around the corner with the Shaman. And then, as you can see, trolls are still fucking making their way over. Poor trolls. This is where it kind of gets bad. I failed this charge right here into these Raptors. I should have march charged. I think if I march charged, this would have been a lot better for me as a game. Would have still kept me in the game because I'm putting a lot of pressure on my opponent. And it's really like, if I can get to him and hit him, I'm usually like killing something or mauling it to the point where he can't really fight back. If I march charge, I probably would have killed 2 stands of Raptors. Then he wouldn't have enough. That would have kept my Stalkers alive, but then can, shoot off more Raptors. And I can start collapsing this center and keep pushing with my stuff into the, onto the right. Because he still has to like clear off the trolls. He still has to clear off the Bearsarks. That's activations away as I kind of wipe it out. But because I failed this charge, I'll just do it in black right here and break both units. I needed a 3 with a reroll, and that kind of caused some issues. I got really greedy there, and that's kind of where it really clicked that. Goltr, you are now March Charge Cav. You get to clash when things go nice. Yeah, and this is the point where it really like turns on me by not getting that charge, not wounding those Raptors, because I've down 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've killed 2. And I can probably take with everything. Like if that gone, I would have had one other one injured. Then the Goltr can fight off. Like these guys can fight. These guys can be finished. Now it's Braves into like trolls and double Goltr with Stalkers. Winglord now has to come over. That collapses, turns to the Winglord and the Hunters. Like once I touch the Hunters, they're gonna die. So like it's all that stuff. Like it just cascades. And that one charge failed that cascade, and I should just march charged. And that's like the big takeaway from here. All right. Let's get into next turn. Okay, here's turn. What is it? Turn 5. So, just that a little bit. Raptors charge in, kill Stalkers. That's a loss of a card. Goltr, go in. Still Raptor on, like, he's like on 1 health. These guys battle. He kills a stand. I kill 2 stands. Sweet. Trolls still trying to make it over. It's getting real tough to like try and move that unit so far on the other side of my opponent's board that I just kind of like do whatever. I know I'm kind of done at this point. What else goes on? So trolls get hit by the Raptors over here. They live, they clash back, take the Raptor down to like 1 stand. The Queen has been healing this Raptor unit up. So they're back to 2 stands. He moves his Braves in to score that zone finally. Winglord shoots those trolls to finish it off and then flies over the Bearsarks, killing them, preparing for this charge later. Bearsarks dead. Hunters move up. So now it's kind of collapsing in. And I think this game goes another way if I just march charge, to be honest. I would have had Stalkers still to clear, because if I had Stalkers still, they would have cleared off this guy because he's almost dead. And then that would go for freeing up those Goltr to then, hit something else. But with that, opponent scores 2 zones. Okay, let's go into turn probably 6. Here's turn 6. Sweet. Raptor. I don't even know how to say this. Okay. Oh, trolls failed to charge. That's why they're over. That's why they were over here. So yeah, trolls failed to charge. They could have been in onto the butts of the Braves and done a bunch of damage that way. Yeah, so it was like turn after turn where I just kind of failed a bunch of charges and it just cascaded. So like poorly positioned units roll worse. And it was just like, oh boy. For this turn, those trolls do get into that position, kill the Braves down to, they have 1 health left. However, Hunters, Braves, Raptors kill off that troll unit. This just scores. Braves rally and then like clash. I think, yeah, that's about it. This Raptor kills off that Goltr. These Goltr down here kill off this Raptor, and then the Winglord I think does a free. I don't know what the hell it does. I think those Raptors did some damage to the Goltr, then the Goltr killed it, and then this Winglord I will do in blue. Hits them and does enough damage and kills them, and then he fucks off. I guess over there. Cool. Yeah, Shaman's kind of just hanging out. He's scoring points. Good job, dude. Let's get next turn. Not a whole ton going on. My opponent's scoring these two. He does move his Raptor unit. He just does a Fluid and double march over here. Winglord from this position charges into my Raiders. Raiders live on 1. Raiders fight back, do a bit of damage, whatever. I don't think I'm scoring that zone. Next turn. Raptors charge into Raiders, kill them. Winglord into zone. Opponent scores all 3 zones. Well done, Reese. Good job on your victory. So yeah, that one. Oh, let's get into the score before I talk about that. Okay, there we go. 10-22. Nice job. Good job, Reese. Okay, so that game. Raptor skew. It's a skew list. It's pretty good. You just need to conserve your Raptors, get your stuff on the table, and then just kind of layer your threats. Having 6 of the same card is really nice because then you can just pick where you want to have your fights. That's always been a power of a skew list or a spam list. My mistake there, I probably should have tried to get those trolls over more. As you start falling behind, you got to get riskier and riskier plays. I have always been bad at charging, and it caught up to me this game when you roll a 1 and a 2 multiple times in a row. I think I failed 2 to 4 charges, and it really sucked. So losing out on charges kind of puts you on the back foot because now you're out of position and you're not at your opponent or anything. So I don't know, probably should have march charged, but then it was okay, it's a 3 with a reroll. Please do it. It cascaded in that way where my opponent was safe and they gained more activation advantage as they killed my stuff because my stuff was unable to kill my opponent's things. That's really it. Overall, had a great time at Calgary Roads to GameCon. I went 1 and 2. Reese did win the event due to strength of schedule, and he did a phenomenal job. What else I got to say? I got best sport, and I won a trophy. Garrett with 2 keys from Stone Geekery made them. It's a really nice trophy. I don't know if I'll take a picture and throw it in here at the little end chat. I don't have much to say because I've kind of already analyzed a lot of this and kind of talked about it as we've gone through. Bearsarks, I like them as a scalpel. I'm probably going to swap to a Sea Jotnar. There's a lot of monsters. There's a lot of brutes kind of coming out. It's also more durable and it doesn't bleed damage as it dies, what I quite like. What else? Goltr, I gotta think about them as more mini Thunder Riders than before as Charge Clash Cav, and now more as March Charge Cav. Something I had to learn, and now I have to, commit it. So there's that. The rest of the list worked out fine. Dread Trolls were fun. They was oh, no Inspire, kind of keeps them along. I see where people are coming from with the Vulva Warlord on getting more evasion because it kind of her supremacy giving everyone +1 evasion with Nords being E1 mostly on a lot of things, going up to E2, and then if you don't have E1, you can take an artifact which gives you +1 evasion, and with that, so you can get to E2. I might play with her after Gamescom on how that's all going. That should be fine, to be honest. I want to try out more Nord stuff. This is kind of just where I've been and see how Nords pans out. Steel Chosen are going to be fun. There's a lot of good things happening in Nords, and I just kind of want to play a bunch of it and see how it goes. I'll probably lock in a list at some point what I really like and enjoy playing. But right now, I'm very much in that experimental phase. I had a blast. All my opponents were great. Millennial Model Mayhem, Lena, did a great job hosting this event. She did really well. She had good prizes for everyone. She had good organization. Everything was ready to go. She will be hosting Gamescom. Well, not hosting it. Parabellum's hosting it. She's just, organizing it or just being there as the Vanguard judge. She did a lot of the organization and a lot of the promotional stuff for it. So she should be celebrated for that. And I hope everyone enjoyed this battle report. Might have been a little quicker. I don't know. It's just kind of how the game's played out. Sometimes they're really quick. Hope everyone has a great day. Bye.